feel like I'm on the hot spot, Mary, but you get to ask me any question you want to ask me, so let's go for it.
Okay. I think I will start with, what do you think gets too much of teenagers' attention?
Too much of teenagers' attention?
Like particularly in America or like in our culture.
I don't know if that can be a question just for teenagers. I think what gets most of our attention is us. I think we live in a culture where you come first and everything you want. And I think there's a situation you should take care of yourself, but I mean, you as far as being popular or things that you want, I think selfishness is not just a teenage thing, it's a human thing. And so I don't know, I've traveled a lot of different places and there's no one group of teenagers that are exactly the same. Like this group may think, oh, it's all about, being on Instagram or getting popular that way. Something is all about dating, something is all about money. It's just a human experience in a microcosm of teenagers. What I would suggest to teenagers is to start trying to look at your future, not just the here and now. I think so many people in general, but especially teenagers, think about just right here and now and not how their life will look in the next 10 years from now. Make a lot of choices to impress people that they may not even see in the next 10 years. They're trying to impress people and talk to people that, or just do things like TikTok. I mean, TikTok challenges. Kids are willing to destroy their own schools for people they don't know for a slice of popularity. And I think that's short-sightedness. And this isn't a criticism, I felt it too as a teenager. Like all I did was what was for me, what felt good in the moment, and then it just didn't always pan out that well.
Yeah.
So your viewpoint, what do you think? You're a teenager, right? How old are you?
I'm 17.
So what do you think is, gets too much teenagers' attention?
I think, the best one I can think of is probably ourselves. I didn't really think, that wasn't exactly the kind of answer I was thinking of, but I think that's
So what were you looking for?
Good...
When you asked that question?
Oh, I wasn't looking for anything particular.
So
I was just like, I was just kind of surprised that you said that.
So what do you? So you thought an adult would say what? What are the things you thought I would say?
I thought that you would just be more specific, like a thing in our culture. Like you kind of mentioned, like social media or something. That's obvious. But I think ourselves is a really good answer because it sums up like everything, like all those things. Social media.
So I think social media. Why do we do it? People do it for acknowledgement, attention, affirmation. Acceptance.
And entertainment.
Entertainment too. But again, sometimes we take entertainment to where we just want to be entertained all the time. I mean, there's people on TikTok and on Instagram. I talked to a teenage girl, 8th grade, TikTok 16 hours a day. How do you do that? I mean, what are you doing? Like, you don't even sleep. And she's a non-sleep much. So I think, I think all those things point to what we think will make us happy. And again, I'm not saying social media is bad. I think it's interesting, though, that the people who created social media don't let their kids have social media. Facebook, TikTok, although they don't let those, TikTok is China, that's a whole nother story. I got TikTok. But they don't let their kids do it and how addictive it is. So again, I don't want to come across, especially as a Christian, you're like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do this. I don't think, it's not about rules, it's about a relationship. So what things are helping me grow my relationship with Jesus is the most important thing. If these things, even just listen to country music or listen to things that take my attention away from God and take my attention way away from God, those things are bad. They take me away from what I think I've been created for, and that's God. So I don't like when adults like me, feel like we're looking down on teenagers. You bad teenagers. I don't want to ever have that attitude because guess what? We're all people and we all have different struggles, period. So, so what do you think? What would you say if you had to pick one thing that's, you can't use my answer though?
I would have to be more specific maybe.
As a teenager, what do you notice and even your own self, like what are some things that because I think go ahead.
Maybe like security a little bit. That's my second answer because I can't take your answer. Because I think a lot of teenagers are afraid of stepping out of their comfort zones. Like even in a social setting, like for example like this, someone might go sit somewhere and be on their phone because they don't want, they're like, oh, it's too awkward to stare at people and my friend didn't come or something. Yeah, I think security, just I think a lot of teenagers are scared of making choices about their future because they're I guess they're just not used to it.
Do you think teenagers would say that? They say, I feel insecure. I can get the insecurity
Some
about
might.
Some might. What do you think could help them be more secure?
I think just having a better perspective on what actually matters and like you said, thinking more about the future and not just how things feel right now.
And I think as a believer, I think what gives me the most security about who I am is my identity in Christ. And even Like, honestly, I struggle sometimes thinking about finance. I have a family. I need to make money for my family, take care of them, and I meet people who have homes like this. And just and you sometimes compare yourself to people, and that's just a human tendency. But then I have to think, where is my eternal hope? It's in Christ. And even when it comes to health, like my mom died of colon cancer, right? Got to get a colonoscopy. I could die tomorrow. Where's my eternal hope? It's in Christ. So anything I have to deal with today is temporary, and understanding that, not just knowing in my head that, attorney's out there one day, but knowing I have that taken care of, that makes this so much more easy to deal with. Like, yes, there'll be problems, but guess what? If I die, I get to go be with Jesus. I really, really believe that is my security, because what in this world is really that I can put my hope in totally? Because it all falls. Money, popularity, fame, friends, love, all those things will fail me, but Christ won't. And I think, how do we, I'm going to plug my own ministry, Connect Faith and Life. How do we connect my faith to how I live every day? And I think it starts with understanding who I am in Christ, what Christ is, and the whole picture, the whole view of God's plan for mankind, and not just what I experience right now. So I like that insecurity. So teenagers struggle with security.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant by perspective. I should have said eternal perspective.
It's
amazing when you think about how little one thing on earth matters when you think of your eternal perspective. And
it's hard to think of eternity though.
Yeah, it really is.
Because we when thinking about God, God is eternal, right? And everything in our world has a beginning and an end. School, family. Things have a weird timetable. So it's really hard sometimes to think of eternity. I do this illustration in schools where I take a measuring tape and go about 80 feet. And I say, imagine every foot represents a year of your life. But the truth is, the measuring tape goes on beyond that 80 years, because we have an eternity to look forward to. So what is that? So what am I doing now to deal with that? And I don't have to make a choice as far as, behave well so I don't go to hell. As a Christian, but I do need to live for eternity. But it is hard to think about that, but we do have hope in Christ for all eternity.